Welcome, welcome, wingers and wingettes, to another episode. We have here today the lovely Ty, and she's gonna talk all about what's going on today. We normally have caption, a title, but today I wanna roll with my guest, and she talks about a lot on her page. It's so inspiring, but I'm going to let her get into it because our conversation could just be honestly about anything. Todd, thank you so much for coming on this episode today. How are you?
Of course, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm pretty good, but you know how it gets to be like around the holidays.
Yeah,
Everything's
hectic for sure, for sure. What have you been busy with? Like any holiday shopping yet?
not too much. I've
Hmm.
done a little bit, but it really just started maybe the day before yesterday.
Okay. Okay. It's been crazy. It's been, I mean, the snow. Wait, what part of you're in New York City? New York?
No, I'm originally from there, but I'm actually in Florida right now.
You're in Florida? Okay, so wait, what's the weather like?
It's actually Florida cold.
Yeah, Florida cold.
Cold,
Okay.
cold for here, but not super cold.
Okay.
It's really comfortable weather.
It was like 29 degrees for me yesterday, so
Oh man.
I was like, all right, let me get the coat out. I had to start the car for a second. I had to get myself together. But so what is it that you do? What is your go-to every day? What who is Ty Parks?
So right now I am looking for like a good paid gig.
We all are.
We're going to get into it, but I do a lot of content work as far as, editorial and telling the types of stories,
Right.
even with my platform, but outside of my platform, just writing in digital newsrooms has been my thing
Okay.
for the majority of my career.
Okay. I love that. I love that. So do you call it like blogs, or is it a different name now?
It's been so I've written for like industry publications.
Okay.
And my two most recent publications, I was at PR News, and then I was at Because of Them We Can. So two
Okay.
different things.
I love that. I love that. Sorry. I love that. Okay. So you have been like really involved and really into the craft of getting the news out there basically. Now like you give the facts, or it's like you give the half facts, or do you tell it all? Like something happened today, I'm getting like all the tea.
Yeah, I mean, with my platform now, I think that we get to take a different approach than what I've been able to
Okay.
take
Yeah.
before. Like when I was at PR News, it was industry jargon and
Yeah.
stories that are, important to that specific niche of people. And
Right.
even at Because of Them We Can, it's a little bit broader than what I'm focusing on now. Like that was more
Okay.
so, it was still positive news like what we do, but it's
Mhm.
broad. And they talk
Right.
about like a whole lot of different Black history, and we're focusing more on arts and entertainment stories.
Okay, because I did see, because I have your page right in front of me, and everybody else will be checking out your page. What is your website? What is
I
your
love
website?
Scott Media.
See, I love that. I love us. And how did you come up with I love us, and who is us?
Okay, so I can't take full credit for the name.
Okay.
So this whole thing is something that I went into with my partner, and we had the idea to do this for a while now. But, my contract ending where I was, that was like okay, it's time now. So we should do this
Yeah.
now since I have all this time. And we were just sitting around talking about the name. We came up with a few options that were pretty similar, but,
Okay.
something that we always say when we're sending little Instagram videos or whatever to each other is, I love us.
Yeah.
Every time
Yeah.
you see other Black people doing something cool, it's like,
We do say that. Like I love us. Like sometimes in messages, I'm like, I love this. I love that for us. Like,
yes.
yeah.
So it was just that suggestion, and I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? I really like that.
Yeah. That's really it's our type of unique. Like, you know, it's our culture. And once I went to your page, honestly, it was very welcoming. It's bright. I don't know if it's my settings, but it's in white, black, and it has the colors I love us. Red, black, and green, right?
Yeah.
Then I scroll and I'm like, this is a lot of our culture, black culture. And right now, a lot of us have the shade room. And I'm not here to throw like the shade at the shade room, but I'm here to talk about it. Like we don't get a lot of positivity in what's going on with our black culture. and I look at your page, the first thing I see is Frank and Paul Gems brings joy to pediatric patients with first annual give back event. Some people are looking for, all right, what's the tea? What's the tea? But it's like we could come here and get something that's more fulfilling. It's not always about what did this person lack of, or it's like what, what's going on in our media. And you have like a lot of stories. You put a lot of time in this throughout the week.
Yeah, so we publish at least one new article each day. Some
That's
days it's more than
consistent.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a lot that crosses our desk. So everything doesn't even make it up there, but our team is small, so we have to be realistic and it's about like 1 to 2 stories a day.
That's not bad because I was looking at support the black owned businesses. What stuck out to me was the candle. I'm like, oh, I love my candles. Like I love it. And I'm like, okay, is there a black owned business with can? It's so official. Like, and I'm this whole page because like you have some bloggers and they'll just forget to write the story, or they don't feel it anymore, or they don't know if someone's coming across it, because I don't know how it is behind the scenes where when we post on Instagram, we post anywhere else, you see the likes, you see the comments, you see the interaction. A lot of people give up when they go to the websites, because you may have, I don't know if you're like one of those engineers in the back and you see how much traffic your page is getting, but a lot of people normally give up, and I'm like, I don't know who's watching, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if this is, am I still relevant? How do you feel on that? Like that keeps you going, the motivation for this page.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And I have to just remind myself of that. Like, you're doing this pretty much by yourself. I don't
Hmm.
have the machine behind me like when I was at, other publications and things where
Right.
there is a marketing team, there is the people, there's a person who's analyzing everything and that is their sole job. So they can
Right.
dedicate
Yeah.
way more time to doing that than I can. So I have to remind myself of these things. Yet
Hmm.
and still, I'm obsessed with checking the analytics to see, like,
Me too. I can't help myself. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, that did great. How many people reached? How many people did I reach? What do I have to do? What's the goal? I love analytics. It tells you, like people say, don't watch it, don't look at it, but I'm like, it tells you how you're doing. I'm sorry, numbers are numbers. It tells you.
so I'm just like refreshing throughout the day, checking to see how things are doing. And I
Yeah.
do get it. Like, we're still really new. We just launched in June.
Okay. Congrats.
I think, like, thank you. I can't expect for us to perform the way that like places
Yeah.
have worked, not that fast, but
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm going to strive for great things, but I'm also really realistic about where we are
Hmm.
in our
Yeah.
journey.
Of course. Of course. And speaking of being hopeful, like what's the hopes for the page? What is the hopes for I Love Us in the future? Where's I Love Us gonna be? BT red carpet. Let's go.
I want to be everywhere. I want to be outside.
Yeah, right. You ever thought about getting the mic and going outside like they do? Like I Love Us. Like like talk to us.
I know that I'm going to be the correspondent for that.
Hmm.
I really like, being around and asking the questions and things. I don't want to
Right.
necessarily be on video, but I hope that we do get to a point where we can support other people who want to be the
Hmm.
correspondent and that we have the funds to pay them to do that.
Right. 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 Can I give like a piece of feedback on what I would
Sure.
want? All right, so if you don't want to be on camera, right? Maybe you could get someone that you could find that's like inspiring, outgoing. They know they possibly may get paid or not get paid, but there's more to it in the future. Maybe we can have somebody, like maybe you could record and go to the actual black owned businesses, go in there, call ahead and say like, can I go into your restaurant or your library or your bookstore and have a moment where we record and have like a session, or maybe you don't know we popped up, or we have this moment where we come in, and then post it to your Instagram or TikTok, and then always like link your page. Have you done it, or
So
would you?
I I actually set up a Google form so people,
Okay.
if they are interested, they can find us on Threads and it's our pin
Hmm.
post, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would call them when I started, like for me with the food reviews, and I did one. And then my wife and I, we chopped it up. We did the voice recording. We did editing. We did it within 24 hours. It got a lot of views, right? I went to the restaurant. I said, I want to do this for you. Like I showed them the video. I was like, I want to do this for you. Because if I come in it, they look at me like, all right, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to get for free? I was like, let me do this for you. There's something that you may benefit from me. I'm going to benefit from you. We're helping each other out. And I'm like, all right, so let's schedule this. Maybe one day, like if you take it to the next step, like get somebody going to their area, say, we would like to, promote your business. I'm not sure how you're doing, but I'm, fascinated with what's going on in this establishment. I love us would like to come in and have a word or two. Let's like for like a 1 minute clip about you and we post it. I just feel like it would get so much more.
So our hurdle with that so far has
Yeah.
been the influencer culture.
Yeah.
And people want to be paid, and I don't have any problems with that. But I'm like, maybe even a decade ago, it wasn't like this.
It wasn't.
Like you can find people wwho are willing to help and things like on one hand, I get it. You should
Mhm.
be paid for the work that you're doing. On the
Mhm.
other hand, it's like finding volunteers is so much harder these
It
days.
is. It is. It is. I'm speaking like this is what I want for us. Like, and then I'm like, ugh.
I agree because that same Google form that
Mhm.
I've had up, I think we've only had like maybe 5 people fill it out, willing to
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
because we put up front, like, we don't have the money to pay you.
Mhm.
Not yet, but you get to go to these events. We're getting sent events and invitations and stuff from, movie premieres.
Yeah, look at that. People don't understand how being humble will get you so much more than you looking for that first paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Being humble and being like willing, like if you said like right now, just winging it is getting so many guests and so many people coming on, and then we have people like you that's coming on, and I'm like, we both can like we're putting our love us out there, we're putting clips out there. Then you're someone that's a guest for me, and it's like I look at it like I'm grateful for every guest that comes on. I'm humble because you never know where the next thing is. I'm saying I had Ty on here, stop playing. I love us came on here. Y'all not telling me nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if we just get more people that's humble, everybody's looking for that check, and it's like I learned the new word clock it. I learned that like we gotta tone it down a little bit. But yeah.
That's right. Like, I know that we're in a different place where
Uh-huh.
people don't really, they don't want experience. They don't want the connections being made to
Hmm.
be their compensation for doing something.
Right, right,
But
right.
I think it's still important because there are so many instances where I've met people
Hmm.
or I've done a project and it was volunteer work or, I'm not being compensated with money.
Right.
But those same connections that I made in those moments turned around and they put me in a position
Yeah.
to do something even greater. And
Yeah.
like some of the connections that I have now is from working on stuff where I
Hmm.
I wasn't paid. Now I don't believe in people like, oh, you're going to work for exposure, but there are ways that things can be mutually beneficial that's not
Yeah.
money, and you will miss out on them if you're just looking for money on.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm like, exactly what you just said, the pinpoint mutual. How is this? What can we gain from this both mutually? And it's like money will come. And if it doesn't, some of these, like a lot of these conversations have been now, oh, they're my friends. I could be on their podcast. I could reach out like, hey, you want to come back? Sure, anytime. More than welcome. You gain a lot of connections and people like forget the value of connection, but then that's just the social media aspect of it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
What? Yeah, exactly. Are you on Instagram and TikTok or just the regular website?
So we're in a process of overhauling because, like I said, it's a very small team. We don't have a social media person,
Okay.
and I get overwhelmed with trying to do social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, this week we're going to start changing things around and coming up with some systems for the new year. We
Okay.
are on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah, we're on TikTok, and the thing is, like, our following was growing pretty quickly on TikTok. It's just like I don't have enough people to help me do the things yet, so I needed to put focus where it should be right
Yeah.
now. But yeah, if people want to follow us, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads are all official underscore I love us.
There we go. Like, it's hard to keep up because you also have to put on your page, and you're putting out content on your page every day, and then you have to do it on TikTok. Or I'm gonna send you some links after we
Please do.
finish. That's gonna help because right now all I do like is really like posting content, consistent clips, shorts, video, and it gets overwhelming until I found a certain site that will just do it at one click, and it will go to whatever pages that you want it to.
See, I need something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'll give that to you because
thank
after
you.
that, yeah, I used to. You're welcome. After like my wife and I was going back and forth, like, oh my god, it's taking you about 5 hours. Like, yeah, I have to make the clip. I gotta edit it. I gotta post it. Then I gotta put a caption. This one place, it'll just put it out. It's so much. It was so time consuming, but it's this. It's the stuff we just love to do. You know what I'm saying? It's what we love to do. You guys
Yeah.
have merch?
No, we don't have merch yet. We have been shopping around for
Yeah,
a partner, but we don't have anything yet.
I'm gonna send you that too. I gotta send you. No,
The benefits though of like talking to people and just finding,
yeah,
because sometimes you figure out ways to do things way
hmm
more efficiently and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So
exactly. No, I'm gonna send you a bunch of stuff because it's like
thank you.
I like a lot of people. I don't like the gatekeeping. Like, help us. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, as I go out there and I find out what's going on, and I'm like, let me see what else I could do too, because there's so many of us out there who wants to, have our own websites, have our own merchandise, have our own way of shining a light on things that's going on, and we just don't have the energy sometimes because we're putting so much time into one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's so you said a lot of things did not make it to the website. What's one story you could think of that you wanted on the website? Tell me a hot topic right now. It's hot topic time. I'm ready. Tell me a hot topic.
So one thing that didn't make it for a couple of reasons was Fantasia, who is my
Okay.
sorority sister, by the way. Uh,
Okay.
she did a reimagining of Summertime with Adam Blackstone, I want to say. I don't
Okay.
remember when this was. It might have been like the end of summer or something.
Uh-huh.
And the timing just didn't work out. So we couldn't cover it because I wanted to cover it like with the quote.
Yeah.
And I didn't have all the information I needed by the time we wanted to run the story. So we just couldn't get
Okay.
it in.
Okay, because you wanted some like more information on that topic and more searching. Do you use ChatGPT?
We do use it mostly for quick editing
Yeah.
when we have a couple of things to get out.
I love it. I love it.
But I actually find that I like Gemini too.
I haven't used Gemini. I
Yeah, so
should.
that's Google's and I like it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. The assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, it just came to iPhone. It's better than ChatGPT. I wanted to get it. I said, nah, I can't cheat on ChatGPT.
But they, to me, they have like their different functions or they do different things better to me.
Okay. Do I have to go on the app to call it, or can it just answer me like how I say it?
Like talk to it. Yeah, you have to go on the app.
Okay, okay. I was wondering. All right, we didn't have that type of integration.
um, of course, with AI, you still need to go
Hmm.
back and fact check things yourself, but it's a good starting point for fact checking.
Okay, okay. That's not bad.
It's linked to Google, so
Yeah, I'm gonna try it because it was a big thing when they said they're bringing it to Apple. So I'll try it. I'll try it. Did you how you know what I wanted to ask you since it's the main thing on the page? Tell us about the first annual give back event.
okay. So that one, how did we meet them? Oh, they reached out to us
Nice,
and
nice.
pitched it. So that wasn't our event. It was
Hmm.
a jewelry company in DC that reached out to us.
Okay.
And they just wanted to know, like, how do I get a feature? I'm not sure exactly
Hmm.
how they found us. I know that we have one friend in common, and that friend was also featured on our website. So maybe
Okay.
we had a conversation. Maybe they,
Maybe word of mouth.
but that's how a lot of people have been pitching
Right.
to us. Somebody just told them, like, hey, you should try to get with them and get a
Right.
feature.
Okay. Did you ever have your most rewarding moment from this?
Yeah, I mean, have a lot of rewarding
What's
moments,
the top one?
Eric. But the top one would probably have to be interviewing Chef BJ Dennis. Um,
Okay. All
he
right.
been on my like dream interview list for a while now.
Did he cook?
And I'm a foodie. So I watch
Yeah.
like a lot of food documentaries, and then I'm watching information about Gullah Geechee culture. And if you've watched any of those
Mm-hmm.
documentaries, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see
Yeah.
him. So I got to interview
Mm-hmm.
him, but
Okay.
in the interview, it just ended up being a really long call.
Oh, it was a call. I was hoping that you was there. You got a little food.
I
That would have been part two.
Yes,
Part two.
he said, let us know when you're in town, and
Yeah.
then maybe we can meet up, whatever. Because there's so much
Ooh.
I want to know, but he
Yeah.
dropped so many gems on that phone call,
Yeah.
and it just felt like talking to a cousin who's
Wow.
trying to school you. So I love that.
That's so great. That's so great. Like just speaking with someone who you've just been wanting or dying to meet and having that moment and then they're like, if you're ever out here, let me, that's great because that gives me the satisfaction. Like, all right, you enjoyed our conversations as much as I enjoyed it, and then the chef, I need some dinner. I'm actually about to speak with a chef tomorrow, and I wish I could be there in person. Like, can you cook something? Because I'm like, what is one thing you think I should ask the chef?
Like about recipes that
Mhm.
they might have gotten from elders in their lives.
That's really great. Our elders play a lot into just our generation, and that right there. Do you have any stories on the elders on I Love Us, or maybe that's coming up soon? How about a podcast? Because that phone call could have been a podcast right there. I want to hear that conversation. You could just do audio.
But I would say one interesting story we had about elders,
Hmm.
one of my college friends, actually, one of my college classmates, he was able to trace his family back like 300 years. If I'm not mistaken, it was 300. But
Okay.
that was such an interesting story to hear about, and like
Yeah.
just how his family organized this whole system to be able to do it and to
Yeah.
keep their family together over the years. Like they have this organization that has regional chapters for their
Wow.
family. And that just
Wow.
but just to be able to go back that many
Yeah.
generations and then just see all of the people, and they made this huge like tapestry
Hmm.
that has their family tree on it, and I want to say it's like 3 or 4 different museums. Really, really cool.
This person is special. A museum, going back 300 years. I always wanted to try ancestry, but I'm scared they're gonna use my DNA for a crime that I never committed. I'm like, my godmother told me that one time, and I said, you know what, you're right. But I was like, but it's so good to know. I want to know who's out there. I'm like that would be so cool. That's so cool. If I wanted to start my own page, what's the one thing you would tell me as advice? What should I do first?
First,
I say figure out the name, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. For the
I mean,
podcast, I'm
yeah, it's
thinking
gonna
that
that's gonna be important for the domain too. But I
it
think
is.
figuring out your focus is probably
Yeah,
going to be like what can you bring to the media landscape that's a little bit different than what's out there, or what's your unique angle.
right, right. Cause and then I'm like, I would try to figure out like when I did just winging it, I was like, well, how do I think of just winging it? I was like, oh, all right, I thought of just winging it moments in life. I'm like, all right, let me go with that. And I'm like, all right, so how do I bring everything together? And what do I do? And I'm like, it circled back to just winging it. So I'm like, let me wing it, but with some little schedules and a little bit of structure going on. But have you had any just winging it moments for this? For I Love Us?
I feel like every day. No, really, because there's some stories that I'll see out there, or I'll get a press
Mm-hmm.
release sent to me, and I'm like,
Right.
you cover that. But then I'm super mindful, like we're still very small.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they sent us over this information, but they might not want to take it further than just sending the press release. But I'm gonna try anyway, or I'm gonna try for this feature anyway, because you don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Like I sent a request to Chef BJ asking for an interview, and I thought that it wasn't gonna go anywhere because I want to say it was like 1 or 2 days before he sent something back. And then it went from, okay, I didn't get a response to everything happening really, really fast.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So It's just a matter of we're going to try, we're going to see what happens. And
Hmm.
even if it's a no, we can say we tried, or we can look at it and see what we need to do differently for the next time.
Yeah. I wouldn't even call I Love Us small anymore. I would take that out. I don't know. That's just me. Press, the chef, no, I wouldn't. I would just stop right there. Today, I think has to be the last day that you just say we're a small company. No, we are a big company here. We will, like I just think that's it. Like when I first started streaming, like game streaming, we were like, all right, come check when we like literally first starting. We have one person probably watching. We're like, all right, small streamer here, and I'm like, no, because if I keep calling myself a small streamer, I'm gonna stay in that lane of being a small streamer. It's just me. It's just me and my assistant Tia that's writing you. So you have, I don't know how many people you have, but you have enough to have this nice page. You got that chef. You've been speaking to more people. You're posting content every day. If you tell this is us. I love us. We're a medium sized company. I would say medium sized company, or we're a big company, because then we're gonna look at you more in that boss status. Like, oh yeah, let's get you have it all. Like that's it. That's it. No more small. You have it all. Like it's just because it's inspiring. Like to post every day, it was the hardest thing that I could ever do that I thought. And I'm like, how do I do this every day? And then you have resources. I'm a resource right now because I'm going to give you more things so that it's just much more easier. And then your next person is your resource. And that's just how we're a growing company. So instead of a small, I Love Us is a growing company. You know what I'm saying? It's a growing company.
Change that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's a growing company. Anybody you would want to partner with?
Well, first and foremost, like everybody.
Yeah.
No, but I want to be able to, I don't know how realistic it is for this year
Hmm.
coming, but I do want to be able to be outside, like I said, and that includes Art Basel, which is this week.
Hmm.
So this weekend, I need to figure out where exactly I'm going to be.
Okay.
So I can make connections there. I want to be able to go to Essence Fest. I want to be able to, be wherever other Black journalists are, the types of places that, I could get into
Right.
in
Ooh,
previous
Essence.
roles.
Yeah. That would be really good. We go on the Essence Fest, and you know what? That's why for me, and I hope more look into I Love Us, because I'm telling you, a lot of us are kind of not feeling the shade room sometimes. There's always some shade. If you could take that one shade that was posted and flip it to be like, and on a positive note, I love us for this. Boom, this is what happened, and something nice, something, even if it was just a front, because they always say Diddy's kids singing happy birthday was just a front to make them look good. Okay, well, I love us today. I love these children. Look at them, like something, I don't know, something like positive, because I don't see you throwing shade on the I Love Us page.
And
But
you won't. You
yeah,
won't. I feel
exactly.
like and that's not to like throw shade at the shade room, like you said, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the shade room has like its place, right?
Yes.
It keeps people informed of the things that are going on.
Right. Let
However,
me see
there
what
are
else.
enough publications, in my opinion, that are covering that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes we don't know about what the
Uh-huh.
elders in our community are doing until they become an ancestor and
Yeah.
you're reading, the obituary that whatever publication wants to write about
Yeah.
them. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm telling you now,
Yeah.
before they leave
Yeah.
this earth, this is what they're working on. This is what they've
Exactly.
been doing. And this is how
Exactly.
they're giving back to people.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, exactly. They have their own place, their own setting. But what else? What can we flip it with something positive? And I think people will like that, because sometimes people want a breath of fresh air on something different,
Yeah.
And like it goes back to saying the page is very appealing. My attention span can be short when reading a lot, and yours is a certain font. Then you got things that are highlighted. I'm like, all right, we're there. We got some nice, cool pictures. It's not just words. And then we take it to post. We can get clips. We can get. It's just so much. I Love Us, a growing company. It's a growing. What's one advice you would give to someone asking you? what is the next thing that I should do for myself?
Once you kind of like have an idea,
Hmm.
don't take too much time trying to figure out when you're going to execute it. Like, make a plan, set a date to do it.
Right.
Because it's very easy to have these lofty dreams and say that you want to do things. And then before you know it, like a month has gone by, a year
Hmm.
has gone by, and you're like, man, I never did that thing. And you're going to be mad as hell when you watch somebody else take that same idea you had. And then
Yeah.
you're just like, wow, I should have, no, like, do it. And Tabitha Brown is like a big inspiration to me when it comes to this, because
Hmm.
I've heard her talk about how she got to where she is so many times.
Okay.
And, there's the hurdle of get your ducks in a row for some people. And sometimes you
Hmm.
just gotta snatch them up and be like, okay, we're going.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
on the way.
Exactly. You know what's crazy? Every when I ask people what's the advice you would give, they a lot of them say the same thing you said. Just do it. Like, and then I just started to ask you guys that because when I said it's like, all right, let me stop sounding like a broken record. And I'm like, all right, everybody else that's coming on this episode are saying just do it because you don't want somebody to take what you was thinking of and they go flip it and do it and it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, it says so much too. Like on YouTube, you'll see YouTubers now, they're telling you go ahead, make a page
Hmm.
so you
Yeah.
can get money, and so you can build up your own brand and everything. And it sounds cliche, but it's so true. Just do it.
Yeah, you don't have to like have the most expensive thing. A lot of people didn't start that way. It's just about your personality, how do you portray it, and how you put your brand out there. And with your logo, I'm already guessing that's Black Love, is it? We're gonna show y'all the logo for the people that's in the audio just listening. But yeah, I love it. I love it. Anything you want to ask me?
Well,
I've never asked
definitely,
that before.
everybody check out the website. Give us a follow on our social media. Pretty much everywhere is at official underscore I love us. If you do want to pitch to us, go ahead to our website. All of the contact information for that is on there. And I think that's pretty much it.
There we go. I Love Us is a growing company.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out Miss Ty Parks. And everybody listening, make sure to catch the visual side of this so you can see that we about that business. Well, I thank you so much for coming on this episode. This has been fantastic. You guys know where you can find us, listen, and make sure you follow those pages for more information and more tea. Bye, wingers.